we have Kevin?
No, Kevin.
Didn't really think so. Is it still a day-to-day type of thing?
Yeah, it's a day-to-day type of thing, but there's still swelling. So he came in this morning, got treatment, and we're waiting and seeing.
You've had your rotation changing so much, with Dennis coming in and so on. It's not really a factor of keep the rotation as it was anyway. But is that a consideration of, do you want to see how Dennis works with certain guys? Do you want to keep him with those guys, or do what you did in Los Angeles? And how am I asking? Is there a benefit to keeping certain groups together?
At this point, yes and no. If you're asking if Dennis is going to start tonight,
if you can find a way to answer it, I don't care. We'll all know soon.
But yeah, it's both ways. It's how can he help everybody else play well, and then the group as a whole, like that second group, can they function well, kind of in the same way. So without kind of completely divulging I'm starting at the point of starting Dennis at the points.
Okay, so and
to answer your question, I just want to see him in a bunch of different places. With the starting lineup, playing with Jalen some, coming off the bench, playing with Eric as the primary go-to type guy, playing with Alpi and seeing how he can play with Alpi, and then the same thing with Scoop, with Kevin, same thing. Obviously the Kevin Jalen connection is one that I want to keep harping on and exploring and developing and fertilizing, for lack of a better word. But yeah, the Dennis thing is kind of back and forth, seeing how he can help others play well.
So even if Kevin wasn't hurt, you'd be still trying to look at him with different groupings.
Yeah, for sure.
I know you said you're not looking at game to game in regards to Jalen Green's progress, but is there something can you look at the last string of games from Jalen and say, oh, that's progress?
Yeah, I think it's been more than 3 games. It's been a few weeks now that he seems to be trending in the right direction as far as the game slowing down for him, as far as him finding ways to, within the offense, to put pressure on the defense, whether it's pass ahead finishes or him rebounding and pushing the ball. Last game he had a possession where he brought the ball up the court and noticed he had a mismatch on him, kind of directed everybody to the left side of the floor so he could get to his right hand finish in the paint. And he's also using setups and pick and rolls, which are huge, and it's like a minute detail to the layman, but when it comes to setting your man up one way and then coming off, you can force defenders to go under, you can force defenders to run into the screen, and he wasn't doing that earlier in the season. And over the last few games, I just watched film with him yesterday on some of those things that he's doing now that he wasn't doing previously, ways that he's being able to attack the defense. But then on the defensive end, he's been really locked in, trying, fighting over screens, getting into it. If he misses it, that was my low man. Things that he didn't really understand earlier in the season, and now he's on it. Even if he does make a mistake, he knows it.
Coach, just a little time to prepare for this team after you all played the other night. What is it the defensive play without giving it away to stop some of the open 3-pointers that they had in LA?
Yeah, you have to be intentional about it, right? They were 18 for 35, I believe, and Kennard had 8 of them. So doing a better job on Kennard is number one. And as they're coming over half court, locating him, and the closeouts have to be on point. You can't close out short because they're going to shoot it. And if you can close out and make them put the ball on the floor, then it's a different ball game. But if our team doesn't know that this team shoots threes after the last time we played them, something's wrong. so we got to do a better job.
Are there advantages to playing the same team multiple times in such a short period of time?
For sure, especially for our group, because we have so many young guys who the personnel piece is such a big part in the NBA. You have your schemes, and we've been super bland this season as far as keeping it simple, but when you know the tendencies of the people who you're playing against, it really helps your defense, and it helps you kind of have more of a educated plan of attack when you're out there on the floor as opposed to the game plan. So yeah, playing the same team that we played just a week ago prior to All-Star, and then playing them again day after tomorrow, it definitely is good for our team, especially for our young guys, because everything's new for them.
Was there zone in the second half particularly, was it very different than the other zones you've seen this year?
No, it wasn't different.
You talked about
Very good job against them.
Jalen a couple minutes ago, but when you take a look at the other rookies like Josh Christopher and Alpi, what are some of the things in their game you see them growing from? And along with that, what are some of the things you think they still need to work on in this final month and a half of the season?
Yeah, so for Alpi, it's the adjustment to the attention that he's getting now. Earlier in the season, he wasn't getting much attention from defenses, and it was a lot easier for him. Now teams are trying to push him off the block because they know if he catches it deep, he's very, very effective. Teams are starting to double team him now, which they weren't doing earlier in the season. So for him, it's the patience of reading the double team, or the technique of holding the defender off so he doesn't get pushed all the way out to the wing, and then all those little nuances. And then the defensive part, it's just a hard thing. It really is, to be a 19-year-old five-man in the league, and you're being attacked with pick and roll after pick and roll after pick and roll, with the best pick and roll players coming at you, and trying to figure out a way to stop the ball if that's what's necessary, or get back to the roller if that's what's necessary, or switch and if that's what's necessary. And that's going to be one of the things that continues to grow, a way that he continues to grow, as far as, like, this is a pick and roll game, the NBA is, and the more pick and rolls you see, the better you get at defending them and recognizing it before it happens. And that's one of the things with our group is, slowly but surely we're getting better at recognizing things before they happen. Early in the season we weren't recognizing anything, and now we're recognizing the mistakes that we're making. So we're having some progress, but recognizing an action before it comes with experience, and that's one of the things that he will. The last part is Josh, obviously, and Josh knowing that his defense is what is the most important part of his game right now. And it's easy for a 20-year-old to want to score a whole bunch of points when he's done a good job of it at times, but he is like one of the guys on our team who can really apply a lot of pressure to the opposing point guard or whoever has the ball. And for me, the two things that he has improved on as well as needs to improve on are his ball pressure and affecting the game defensively, and his shot selection.
Coach, the Clippers are such a well-balanced team. How much of that is due to the fact they have a really good point guard in Reggie Jackson?
Yeah, they got a veteran group out there that knows what they're doing, and it's Reggie Jackson, who's been in big playoff games and been around for a long time and had some ups and downs, and started in OKC, and really everybody thought he was going to be really, really good, and then he had a little dip, and now he's back to being really good. It's that curve, that improvement curve that we're just kind of at the start of right now with our group. But yeah, when you have guys like him, guys like Morris, guys like Batum, guys like Zubac, guys who are really just like locked into how they've been playing for years, and then they've been together for a long time, and they've played playoff games and won playoff series together, and they have two guys over there who are not even playing, who are going to even make it even better for those guys. So, yeah, Reggie Jackson's a big part of who they are and what they do, but the experience factor, I can't express it enough how much experience matters in this league, and we're right at the beginning of it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.